once again, everyone, and welcome to the Sanctuary. Once again, we are playing Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker and basking in the release of patch 6.55, the final story-related patches for Endwalker. So, those of you who are just joining us and those of you who have never seen this since, or haven't seen this since Shadowbringers, or are just joining us, just to explain, when the last story-related patch happens, we tend to go in reverse order, ending with the main scenario. As such, tonight, we are going to be doing the Hildebrand questline. But before we do that, let's introduce ourselves. First and foremost, I am Kruznik X, the host and the guy who tries to keep these clowns in line sometimes, but it never seems to work.
It's cute that you think that.
Adorable, really.
Alongside me are my loving wife, Arya Stormborn.
Mm-hmm. The one who really keeps all of these clowns in line.
One of my oldest Final Fantasy friends, Lord Fyrax.
Basking? Oh, hello.
And his loving brother, Corlash.
I keep him in line because he's in smacking around.
Yeah, I always believe that if you're not within smacking range and when you're playing multiplayer with a person, what's the point? Anywhoozy, the story so far, we are still trying to find Poo-Poo's companion. Meanwhile, Dr. Lugay, a new threat has shown up to outshadow Dr. Lugay. I'm kind of blurry on what's going on. Oh, and we discovered that the Mandervilles are descended from aliens. Ain't that a pip?
We're supposed to be surprised by this, though? Seriously?
Yeah, good point.
I knew it was aliens. This is all conspiracy. Nobody is surprised that they are descended from aliens because they are so out there.
Yeah.
They are definitely out of this world.
Okay, let's settle down, peeps.
No.
You know what? Let me drop the Discord audio a couple of notches, just to be on the safe side, okay? Okay. All right, so.
No.
Anywhoozy. So. Without further ado, we are going to talk to Delion, played by our own Lord Fyrax, and complete the next quest in the quest line of Duplicity and Duplication.
Chris, you're just in time to assist with my latest fact-finding expedition.
Oh boy,
Our recent foray into Charlian revealed that Poo-Poo's friend was in the company of a Hannish alchemist, yes? As such, I was inspired to do some preliminary legwork here in Thavnia. I contacted my usual sources for local sightings of alien phenomena, but alas, they had nothing to share. I have thus switched tactics and decided to track down the alchemist fellow instead. Surely someone will have heard the tale of an apothecary bold enough to set up shop on a Garlean battlefield. The inspector and the others have been pursuing a similar line of inquiry, and yet have found no leads here in the city, or at the Great Work. I believe they moved their investigation to Yodamad, so I suggest we hurry over and join. I cannot have that little blue man muddling the water when we're so close to grasping his master plan.
Mm-hmm. I can already see this going swimmingly. Arya, where are you?
Yes.
Going to Yellowknife.
Oh, we're just going to teleport. Oh, you're teleporting there already. Okay, we'll just piggyback off of you. Ah, and look at that. They're already in convenient firing range.
It is Hilda.
Hold up a second while we wait for Aria. There she is. All right, let's talk to Inspector Hildebrand. I see the two of you are as eager as ever to observe my inspectorial genius at work. Ah, the long-term fans are often the most ardent. As a matter of fact, we were just about to continue our investigation into the alchemist we know to have been traveling with Master Poo-Poo's comrade. I mean, that is to say, I am merely following in the Inspector's wake. You needn't be so modest, my dear Inspector Brandehild. 'Tis wrong of me to comport myself as an equal to you all in any respect, for I am but a copy, and a flawed one at that. Stuff and nonsense! Clone or not, self-deprecation is unbecoming in a Mandeville man.
Exactly. The things you can do are amazing.
Oh, I don't know about that. 'Twas you who saved Chris from certain doom, was it not? While not quite as alacritous as mine, your rapid reasoning is nevertheless quite effective. 'Tis kind of you to accept me, rough edges and all. I only hope my meager contributions are of some small assistance.
Sure. Too modest by half. I'll say, his mental facilities far surpass those of the original.
That's enough chin-wagging amongst ourselves, I think. Let us spread out and learn what the locals know of this adventurous apothecary. Alright, let's start at the...
Okay, that was...
What?
That was one heck of a burn that Delion just gave to Hildy.
Yeah.
Alright, let's start with this fishmonger. Do I know any apothecaries? In Razatan? Of course, more than I can count. I've not heard tell of anyone peddling such goods in the heart of the Empire, though. Seems like a terrible idea to me. What with civil war raging and the world almost ending. The situation's improved in recent days, but even so, the Radiant Host still has to provide security for cargo shipments. A lone merchant trading here alone? Impossible.
Ooh, we go over here. We have
Probably... Nope, not in here. Oh, they're behind here.
Yildamad Merchant.
I knew of many merchants who traveled abroad to ply their wares, but none who have business in Garlemald. You'd have to be mad or desperate indeed to consider setting up shop in that troubled land. I mean, word is we've signed some kind of trade agreement with the Garleans, but it's still not the kind of place where one simply wanders in and opens a street stall.
One does not simply wander into Garlemald.
I need to make
one must not simply wander into Garlemald.
how do I do it again?
Do what?
I'm trying to resize my is it oh, there we go. Scale window. I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to bring the scale up a little bit on my dialogue box. And you can only do it in certain situations. but I discovered it in the end. Anyway, let's talk to the Edlemont fisherman.
Yes, I know the one of whom you speak. Fellow fisherman told me of a friend of his, an apothecary, who set off to war-torn Garlemald to sell his medicines. A reckless fool, if you ask me. I have no interest in the affairs of such men. But you do, I take it? If so, I suggest you seek Usakeik and hear the tale for yourself. Look for a red-haired lad there gathering shellfish.
Ooh, shit.
Alright. The brand. Ah, Chris! I hope your questioning has borne fresher fruit than mine. Oh, a good friend of the alchemist in question, you say? Then let us gather the troops and pay a visit to this felicitous fisherman.
The story of my apothecary friend. Oh, you must mean Baharashaf. Well, I was near enough to calling it a day anyway, so here's what I can tell you. Bahasharaf comes from a very poor family and, growing up, never had much in the way of money or possessions. I suppose those experiences are what led to his lifelong obsession with gaining wealth. After trying his hand at a succession of trades, he decided alchemy would earn him the most skill. But his stock never sold as well as he hoped. So, when he heard about the internal strife in Garlemald, he saw it as a golden opportunity. Surely the middle of a war was the best place to sell medicines. More like the best place for near-death experiences. He soon gave up on his Garlemald venture, but while one would have expected him to return lamenting his ill fortune, Baharashaf was practically euphoric when I saw him again. A God's given blessing he'd found in the snowfields had given him much cause to celebrate. He said he'd learned how to create gold. I must admit I laughed at first. But then he showed me a gleaming mountain of the stuff. Enough to proclaim himself a merchant prince. He even changed his name to Vanhudi, a word which brings to mind the bounty of the divine.
A name I've heard. He's a rising star in the markets, is he not? The one snapping up commercial ventures left and right?
Yes. Vanhudi has certainly made his ambitions known here in Tavnar, especially when he attempted to purchase the entire port of Liedlemad. The dockmasters declined to sell, of course, but when it comes to buying historic landmarks, a bottomless purse can open surprising doors. Last I heard, he'd converted the gilded Araya into a private abode, and has been filling it with every rare treasure his gold can secure. He pays out particularly large sums for artworks depicting the goddess Asura. I remember him being a fervent worshipper of hers, even as a child.
I've encountered much Manusia and Merga lore in Razatan, yet I recall no mention of this Asura.
Well, that's hardly surprising. As a deity of war, she is not well loved by the common folk. Baharashaf is different, though. He sees life as a constant battle to amass wealth, and it is to Asura whom he prays for victory. And damn me if she didn't listen. That once poor boy became merchant royalty, A man far too rich and important now to afford more than a fleeting moment for simple fishermen. Even those who were once dear friends. If you'll excuse me, I really must leave it at that. These clams won't sell themselves, you know. How about that, eh? Our sought-after apothecary and the upstart merchant prince were one and the same. Might we assume the blessing he stumbled upon in Golemod was a certain alien craft and its occupant? Sorry to intrude, but aren't you the hero who helped us when folk were turning into beasts? Well, some nasty-looking creature just showed up outside town. One of our gods went to confront it, but I don't like her odds against that thing. This sounds like a case for Inspector Hildebrand. Come, friends, let us investigate forthwith. Lugay again.
I thought you destroyed that monster.
I have the situation under control, citizens. This individual bears a strong resemblance to a known fugitive, so I thought it prudent to investigate. Regrettably, he has proven less than forthcoming with answers.
How many times must we teach you the same lesson, shiny skull man? Lesson? What are you on about?
Damn it. No idea.
Bah!
That's why I skipped it. I'll here.
Cease this babbling and get out of my way! Lord Van Hoody's orders are to cause trouble at the port, and I'm running behind schedule!
Van Hoody? The merchant who tried to buy Yellamad? So he put you up to this?
Curses! How did you manage to deduce our dastardly plan? Fyrax? Couldn't hear you, Fyrax.
You just blurted it out.
There we go. Silence! No one who learns of our schemes can be suffered to live. Prepare to be squashed, meddlesome worms! Godbird fucking Vanderbilt!
I can't wait until Moses gets to this part.
Oh, he's gonna fucking trip.
Oh yeah.
3 more sinister skullmen! Was the doctor a quadruplet?
I thought it'd be Delion saying that.
Oh, Julian Mandeville for the win.
The funny thing is, I was about to mention. Funny if she showed up.
Warrior with a frying pan.
With
Mother?
The one spell.
Mother?
I want that glamour. Giant frying pan for the act.
Yeah.
Vexatious vermin! This will soften you up!
Batter up!
Bah! A lucky hit!
just joining in the shenanigans now.
Yeah. Yes.
Ball.
And Strika! Nearly made it. Nachu just walks away. One last pitch. All right, here it comes. The wind up and the pitch.
Ring. Ring.
Unlimited heavy hitter special. But that was my fastball!
And the Pico spot.
I've come to expect father's sudden appearances, but what brings you here, mother? A proposition from that match in Van Huldi. As a matter of fact, I'm accompanying your dad as a manager for Mandeville and Mandeville, and we were just on our way to the bloke's mansion. I've already refused Master Van Huldi once before when he tried to buy out our commercial empire. This time, however, the deal concerns offloading a quantity of gold at wholesale sale prices. It is quite an attractive offer considering fine jewelry is our stock in trade, and we thought to at least listen to his proposal. But if he would purposefully command his lackeys to disturb the peace of a public port. We can't do business with a thug like that. Absolutely not.
Where did all those lackeys come from in the first place? Is there a hulking weaponized brute manufacturer around here somewhere? Sure.
Yes, Poopa?
As I suspected. My ship's vaporization beam is configured to expunge only replicated matter.
So, you can copy inorganic materials as well. Interesting.
But once the matter duplication facility has analyzed an object's molecular structure, it can generate any number of copies. Yet it cannot create matter from nothing. A requisite supply of ether must be on hand to facilitate the process.
You sure do know a lot, Inspector Brody Hill. Even alien starships.
'Tis no great achievement. As I've mentioned, the gaps in my knowledge were patched with data from the starship's own archives, which included the vessel's full schematics and functions.
Assuming I understand this correctly, is it possible Van Huldi is using the repaired alien craft to replicate piles and piles of gold?
We share the same suspicion, Master Delion. To my knowledge, no further method exists that can reliably produce precious metals. Of course! 'Tis the obvious conclusion. That being the case, one might further assume that Von Hoody is either threatening or deceiving Master Poo-Poo's comrade in order to gain access to the vessel's superior technology. Of course, our course of action is clear. We march right up to this gold spawner's front door and demand the release of his extraterrestrial hostage. Alright, let us speak with Hildebrand. We must confront this malicious merchant at once. If your heart's set on confrontation, then you may as well come with us. Von Hoody's invitation included a private airship flight to his new estate. Aye. We still need to formally reject his deal anyways, and his pilot will be waiting. Alright, we will take a quick break, and we will be back with more. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned, but if you haven't done it yet, hit the follow button and turn on notifications so you're well informed. If you're watching on YouTube and you like the video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe by clicking here and click the bell icon for notifications. Click here to watch whatever the algorithm's putting out. Click here to watch the full Endwalker playlist. And click here to watch the next video, or the most recent one, when they come out. We will see you all in a bit.